really noisy background. Do we know who it is? No. Who is it that's got a super noisy background? Good. So if you're watching these classes from the comfort of your own home online, can I remind you that there's a coffee link underneath? You're very welcome to follow the class along with us, but it's much appreciated if you contribute. These guys know how to pay me. They will all pay me after the class. Not like, oh, I pay Luke in my own time. Can we all have everybody after the class, please? Because people then forget. Good. Right. Off we go. Anthony is not very well today, so we send our love to him. So we're talking about relative pronouns. A relative pronoun is basically, as far as you're concerned, linking a thing, a person, to a verbal clause. So, for example, oh, you might fucking know Glory be late. Come on, Gloria. You there?
Hi, yep.
Do you know the expression in a New York minute?
What? I'm sorry?
Do you know the expression in a New York minute, as in quickly?
Oui. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know the expression, a punch in the face from London really hurts? So, hurry up. Right. So, quick. Focus. Concentrate. So, good. So, a relative pronoun is basically linking a thing to a verbal idea or a person to a verbal idea. So Spencer's wearing a t-shirt. I say, that's a nice t-shirt. Spencer says, yes, Luke, it's the t-shirt I bought. Or it's the t-shirt Gloria shoplifted for me. Or it's the t-shirt, Colin, sent me. Who's Colin? The man I work with, the man Luke knows, the man who lives in Timbuktu. Yeah, so we are linking an idea to an object. That is a relative pronoun. Reason why this is problematic. In English, this is an absolute shitstorm. We have a complete mix-up of which, that, whom, and who. Does anybody, honestly, 100% fully, and it would surprise me if they do, know the difference between which and that and who and whom in English? It's not your job to, and it doesn't help you here, but do we know the difference? So the difference between the man who, the man whom, the man that, the man which, any idea? No, people don't know. So the point is, and we don't need to know these in French, but the point is who and whom is about subject versus object. So the man who I know versus the man who knows me versus the man whom I know. And whom is a little bit out of date and antiquated, but is still completely correct and really is what we should be using. Which and that is what fucks everybody up. We say which as in sandwich bag, disposable sandwich bag, for some stupid reason. That's the analogy that we always use to say that which is what we use with a disposable clause. So as in kind of if it's not a necessary part of the sentence, you can go on to use which as opposed to that, which is kind of a necessary part of the sentence. So, but the fact is, all of that can basically just be gotten rid of. So the man that Gloria knows, the man that knows Gloria, the table that is in the chair, that is in the living room, the table in the living room. We either just use that, which will commonly make that we won't even bother saying half the time. Okay, so first things first, when it comes to relative pronouns, do not listen to the English. That's rule number one. Rule number two is I want you today to divide your brain into two very distinct halves of the class. Bits that contain a preposition and bits that don't. What is a preposition? Give me a preposition in French. Spencer, give me a preposition in French. Give me any preposition.
De.
De is a preposition. Give me another preposition, somebody.
Ah.
Good, lovely. Give me another preposition, Julian.
What exactly is a preposition?
That's fine. A preposition is a small word which is basically going to go before a noun, like dog, in the dog, from the dog, to the dog, inside the dog. It could be multiple words on top of the dog. Yeah, that's a really good way of working them out. So without the man, for the man, from the man, to the man, by the man, near the man. These are kind of prepositional style words, yeah? So let's just quickly, before we go on, make sure that we've got these prepositions down in French. So, Julian, what's the word for from? De.
De.
Julian, what's the word for of? Same again.
See.
De.
What's the word for about? Same again.
De.
Good. We've got other fancy ones like apropos de, all of this crap, but de will do for you. Good. Erin, what's the word for without?
Sans.
What's the word for
Pour.
Good. Colin, what's the word for near to?
Près de.
Lovely. Spencer, what's the word for on?
Sur.
Nice. Sur. Gloria, what's the word for under?
Sous.
Good. Nice accent. Well done. Well good on the OU. Very good. Sous. Lovely. Underneath, Abigail. Underneath. Bit more complicated. Kill it or leave. Underneath, Abigail.
Dessous. Dessous.
No. En dessous de. En dessous de, yeah? Let me hear it.
En dessous de.
Come on, hurry up. I've got a lot to do. And again, en dessous de, go.
En dessous de.
Good. Can't have a lag every time. Go. Right. Lovely. Good. So the point is, if I put a sentence that's got those in, so the man I live with, the man I speak to, the man I received a letter from. Yeah. In a minute, we're going to be using sentences, relative pronouns that involve those prepositions. So the first half of the class does not involve prepositions. All right. And the second half does. All right. So let's crack on. So first things first. Repeat after me. A to B equals key. Just repeat that.
A to B.
equals
A to B
And again,
equals
come on,
key.
no lag, straight away. Off you go. A to B equals key.
A to B equals key.
A to B equals
Good.
key.
Gloria, if I say the woman, before I go any further, I just say the woman. Currently, Gloria, who is in charge of my sentence?
Woman.
Perfect. If I say the woman Luke killed, what's the verb in the sentence, Gloria? The woman Luke killed. What's the verb in English? What's the verb here? The woman Luke killed. Which is the verb in that sentence?
Tuer.
Listen to me, I'm speaking. You just need to do one job. You just listen. What is the word in English in the sentence?
Oh,
the woman
killed.
Luke killed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Who is doing the killing? It might be me, but who is doing the sentence, Gloria? Who's doing the killing in the woman Luke killed? Who's doing the killing?
Luke.
Good. So if we introduce somebody new to do the verb after our first one has been introduced, we're going to use que. The woman Luke killed. The man Luke loves. The table Julian did a line of coke off. The fact is, if we are bringing in a subject to do a verb, we are going to need the word que, Q-U-E. Now, I'm not saying in French it will always suggest that a que means a new person. You can have je pense que je, or je sais que je, but generally when you have a que, you are bringing in a new person for the most part. All right, you're bringing in a subject. Okay, so remember that if we're bringing in somebody to do the verb, okay, if we're bringing in somebody to do the verb, we need a que. If the person we've mentioned, so if I say read, the boy who arrived late. So if I say the boy, so far, Julian, if I say the boy, who's in charge of my sentence so far?
The boy.
So the boy that, whatever, arrived late. What's the verb, Julian, in the sentence, the boy that arrived late?
Arrived.
Who is doing the arriving?
The boy.
So if you are not introducing anybody new to do your verb, you're going to use key. A to B equals key, which basically means the thing on the left is doing the verb on the right. It makes no difference in French whether it is a chest of drawers or a person. It is going to be key if the thing on the left is doing the verb on the right. So the man Luke. The man Luke knows, new person, que. The man that knows Luke, the man is doing the verb, it's going to be key. So I'm going to ask you all a sentence and you're going to shout back at me key or que. Let's go in order. Julian, so the woman I locked up in a dungeon. The woman I locked up in a dungeon. Key or que?
Que.
Good, because the woman I locked up. Aaron, the American who was jealous of this woman. The American who was jealous of this woman. Key or que?
Key.
Good, because the American was doing the being jealous. Colin, the table I found at the antique shop. The table I found at the antique shop.
Que.
Good, because the table Luke found. All right, Spencer. The dog the dog that bit me. The dog that bit me.
Key.
Good, because the dog is doing the verb. Abigail, the river which runs through Paris. The river which runs through Paris.
Qui.
Good, because the river is doing the running through Paris. Gloria, the shop the mayor opened last year. The shop that the mayor opened last year. Qui or que?
Key. Okay, I didn't follow this.
Oh, shut up. Listen. The shop. Who's starting the sentence? Who's in charge of the sentence so far?
The shop. The
Correct.
shop owner.
Who is opening the shop? The shop that the mayor opened. What's the verb in the shop that the mayor opened? What's the verb in that
Open.
sentence? Thank you. Who's doing the opening, Gloria?
Man in the shop.
Listen to me. The shop the mayor opened. Who's opening the shop?
The mayor.
Great. So have I introduced a new person to do the verb after my initial? So with a relative pronoun, you go, the man Luke loves. The woman that lives opposite Gloria. So in which case, so you're always going to put something in between your fingers. So the woman. Now you either bring in a new person to do the verb. The woman Luke slapped for not listening. The woman who lives, and you've not introduced a new person, she's just going to do the verb. So if the thing that you've isolated is going to do the verb, it's going to be key. If something new is going to come in, it's going to be que. So the shop, what are we putting in our pointy fingers, Gloria? So far,
Que.
stand
We're
still,
telling you
answer my fucking question. The shop, what is in my pointy fingers so far?
Shop.
Just the shop. The shop the mayor opened last year. Who's doing the verb?
The mayor.
And now, was the mayor in my pointy fingers, or have I brought in somebody new to do the verb?
Yes.
Answer my question. Answer my question. Is the mayor in the pointy fingers? Yes or no?
Yes.
I'm not wasting
Maybe
class
it's-
time. I'm moving on. Watch next
No.
week. No, I'm moving on. I'm moving on. It's
I'll
que.
listen.
It's que. It's que. If you are mentioning somebody, the shop, the mayor opened. If you're bringing in a new person, you need que. If you are not bringing a new person, if the thing you isolate at the beginning is going to do the verb, you need key. So the woman who doesn't listen, she's not doing the listening, so it's key. The woman, Luke asked to listen. I'm bringing in somebody new, so it's going to be que. Got me so far?
Yeah, now it's getting. So the shop's not a person, that's why.
It's got nothing to do with whether or not the shop is a person. I said that, Gloria. Right. We're going to have to go over it again at the end. You're welcome to stay afterwards, but I'm going to crack on. Okay. I've made it quite simple. I'm moving on.
This is hard for me.
I'm bored.
gonna
I'm
do
bored
it.
of your narrative. I'm bored. We're moving on.
I'm going to learn.
If,
I'll do it.
I'll say it one more time. You're going to start the sentence by pointing at something. You're going to say, we're going to use this dipper-based moisturizer. The cream. Now, if I carried on and I had the cream do a verb, I use key. So the cream, which is available in Boots or something. The cream, which is available in Boots. The cream is doing the verb, so we will use key. The cream, we start the sentence talking about the cream. The cream Luke uses after swimming. The cream Luke uses after swimming. Somebody other than the cream is now doing the verb, and that will therefore be que. Same, the thing, the trainer, the sneaker, Luke bought, whatever, by Marble Arch. The trainer, this is the thing at the start of my sentence, the trainer, the sneaker, Luke bought. I'm introducing a new thing to do the verb after the fucking trainer. So that's going to be que. It's the trainer, which is very comfortable. Then the thing you've introduced at the beginning is doing the verb, and that is going to be key. All right. So key is when you don't introduce something new, and que is when you establish your object and bring in someone new to do it. Right, we move on. So.
Thank you.
So.
No,
I don't care. Like you, if you listened as much as you talked, you'd be fucking fabulous. Right, moving on. We're now going to add the word CE before all of the keys and the cuz. All of them. Okay, so we're going to end up with the double word of suki and sukkah. Could you all just say for me suki, sukkah?
Suki.
Here are some facts. Fact number one. Suki is not sukil, which is sukkah, Q-U-E, but get rid of the E and do an apostrophe I-L. So that is using sukkah followed by il, sukil. We're on about suki, C-E space Q-U-I. So in French, when you talk about what, you have an interrogative what and a non-interrogative what. So you have a question what and a non-question what. Here is a question what. Aaron, what are you going to eat for dinner? That is a question. Here is a non-question what. I know what Aaron ate for dinner. That is a non-question what. Okay, I'm not asking a question with the what. My non-question what could actually be referring to a question, but not asking a question. So I asked Aaron what he was going to eat for dinner, but that is not in my language an actual question. If it were a question, it'd be like qu'est-ce que or whatever, quoi or ce que, or you know, à quoi, de quoi, whatever we're going to do. But the fact is, if it's going to be a question, if it's going to be non-question, your non-question what, your non-interrogative what, will always contain the word ce, ce, plus another word. So I like what Colin is wearing. Nice, smart black sweater. I agree with what Reed said. I admire what Gloria's husband goes through. You know, these are what when they are not questions. All right. Okay. And which word have I told you, Spencer? All these whats when they're not questions are going to contain?
Ce.
Good. So my most basic division. We've got others. Ce dont, ce à quoi, but we're not going to talk about those today. My most basic division with what, when it's a non-question, is whether after it we are going to go straight into a verb, or whether after it we are going to go into somebody new being presented to do the verb, which matches what we just had up there. So Colin, earlier, if I was bringing somebody else in to do the verb, do I add qui or que?
Que.
Yeah.
Good. And if it's the thing which I've just mentioned going straight into the verb, did I use qui or que?
Qui.
So therefore, ce qui will go straight into a verb. It can have a pronoun like what annoys me, ce qui m'énerve. You can pop me in there because I'm not doing the verb. Whereas ce que will go into a person, a new person or a new thing. It makes no difference for people or things. Yeah, not yet. We'll go into a situation. So I should say this again. If you say what and then you bring in a verb, so what is happening, yeah, it's going to be ce qui. If you go what Luke or what Gloria or what the newspapers say, if you bring in a person or a thing or any subject to do the verb, it will be ce que. Same as what we just had it there. All right. So I'm going to give you sentences one by one, and you're just going to shout back ce qui or ce que. Julian, I agree with what Luke said. Ce qui or ce que.
Ce que.
Erin, what Phil did was cute. What Phil did was cute.
Ce qui.
Stand the fuck still.
Bill.
What Phil did.
Ce.
Am
Ce.
I bringing in a person to do this verb?
Yeah, ce que.
Thank you. Foolishness comes in all kinds of fucking, forms. Colin, what happened to the people of both Israel and Palestine was fucking horrible. What happened was horrible. Ce qui or ce que?
Ce qui.
Because there's no person being brought in. Spencer, Luke doesn't like what is happening in these countries. Luke doesn't like what is happening in these countries.
Qui.
That's not an option. What are my two options?
Ce qui.
Don't be using qui, because we're still in the what as a non-question. Don't be panicking about qui, que versus ce qui, ce que. We're in what as a non-question. Abigail, what Luke said was interesting. What Luke said was interesting.
Ce que.
Good. Gloria, I admire what your husband tolerates. I admire what your husband tolerates. Ce qui or ce que.
Ce que.
Thank you.
Ce que.
Because I'm bringing in a new person to do the verb. I'm not going straight into the verb, and it's with the word what as a non-question. Reed, could you just take a little jump to the left, because I can only see your. Yeah, could you turn the camera to your face? Could you just come to the left a bit? That's better. That's it. Okay. Reed did what I asked. Ce qui or ce que. Reed, you're frozen. I need an answer from you.
Okay.
Good. I can't hear you. Can you come close to the microphone, Bella?
Yeah. Okay.
I can't hear you. Reed, ce qui or ce que. Reed, we can't hear you. I need your answer. Oh, he's going to log back in. Give him 1 minute. Good. Reed, could you just say something?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Good. Is it ce qui or ce que?
Okay.
Good. That's lovely. It's a bit quiet though, but get closer. Good. Lovely. So now, then, so quick reminder, qui was if the person on the left was doing the verb. No what involved, just if the person on the left is doing the verb and we're not bringing somebody else in. Que is when we've just mentioned somebody. The man. Luke loves. I've brought in a new person. Or I've brought in somebody to do the verb. I'm bringing in somebody to do the verb. If it just goes Luke, we don't do it. All right, good. So my next situation then, the next set all require a preposition. They all require a preposition and erroneously said, as Gloria said it earlier, we now need to listen to what she said. Fucking heaven help us, which is basically we have to listen to whether or not something is a thing or a human being now. Now there's going to be a difference. So the first step with this one is to basically acknowledge that we need to speak like Oscar Wilde or Noel Coward. So in correct common English, we don't formally end a clause with a preposition, but we do in modern parlance. So formally, Julian, the man I speak to is a preposition and it's coming at the end of the clause or the sentence. Notice it could be, it could be the man I speak to lives in whatever, London, So, but whatever, the man I speak to, we're ending that clause in a preposition and we're not supposed to. So what in Old English, I mean, to be fair, it's completely usable English a lot of the time. It's a little bit dated with some prepositions, but what would be the man I speak to be in nicer, more elegant English, Julian?
The man to which I speak, or the man to
To
whom
which?
the man to whom I speak.
Now, unless you're Glory when the husband's gone away, men are not plastic in a bedside drawer. They are human beings. Yeah. The wokery might be trying to eradicate us, but the fact is they are humans. So basically, the man to whom. So if your preposition is at the end, the man I speak to, I now point the man to, I'm going to take my preposition off the end and I'm going to stick it after my points. The man to, and it's this simple in English: a whom for a person, a which for a non-person, isn't it? So the man to whom I speak. Lovely. So Erin, if I said the man I live with, the man I live with, the preposition being with, what's that going to be in more antiquated English? The man
whom I live with.
Stand still, you dumb fuckers. All of you, you dumb fucking bitches. Listen again. You are going to take the preposition from the end of your clause. The man I live with, the man I write to, the machine gun I can't live without. So you're going to identify your preposition. And then, as I told you, you're going to go point at your thing, then your preposition. So the man I live with, the man with, I'm stealing it from the end of the clause, whom I live. And you're then going to stick which or whom after it. So it's going to go thing you're talking about, the preposition you've been using at the end of the sentence, but now repositioned immediately in second position. Then you're going to stick whom or which if it's a person or not. So I'm going to give you another one, Aaron. So the company I received a letter from, what is the preposition that we're dealing with, Aaron?
From.
Great. So what's going to be in the position? What's going to be in the what am I going to isolate? So
The company from.
From, lovely. And now is company, is it human or not?
No.
So it's going to be the company from.
From which.
That's it. I receive a letter will be the same verbs. All right. So it's going to go thing you're pointing at. Now you could be selling drugs in the hood. The fact is, this is how we speak French. Yeah. The guy she lives with, the guy with whom she lives. All right. Colin. The cream I can't live without. The cream I can't live without. What's that going to be in posh English?
The cream without which I cannot live.
Flawless. Spencer. The table she sat on top of. The table she sat on top of.
The table on top of which she sat.
Lovely. Abigail. The man, no, the woman he sat on top of. The woman he sat on top of.
The woman. Sorry. The woman. I'm having like a. Hold on. Sorry.
No, microphone off. Look at me. Microphone off. Toddler arms down. Stay in the game. No shit. He needs to go. Oh, go away. Send a voicemail. Right. So Abigail, in the sentence, the man. Let's say the man she sat on top of. in the sentence, the man she sat on top of, what is the preposition at the end?
Of.
Great. Is it just of, though, or is it on top of?
On top of.
Okay, try not to look so pained, it's slightly rude. If you're not following, that's your deal, not mine. So do you remember earlier when we were talking about prepositions, Lukey said that they can be one word or two words, didn't I? How do you check a preposition? On the dog, by the dog, up the dog, inside the dog, on top of the dog, yeah, near to the dog. So are we agreeing, are we opening up our minds to the concepts that prepositions can be more than one word? Yes? Yeah? Yeah. So what's the prepositional word or words for what's the one that's talking about the position? So the man she sat on top of, what's my prepositions at the end of that sentence?
The man whom
No.
she sat
What
on top
are
of.
my prepositions? What
She
are my
sat on top. Sat on
I
top
don't
of.
want to listen to me. Answer the question. What are my prepositions? The man she sat on top of. What are just the preposition words? What are the preposition words? Just the preposition words. Brilliant. That's it. Just the preposition words. So they are going after the point. So if I now put it into French, it's going to be give me the classy French word order. So it's going to be the man. Yeah. Now give me my prepositional words. The ones you've just given me. The man.
On top of. On
Lovely.
top of.
Lovely. Now what comes next? On top of
whom?
Thank you, because it's a person. It's that easy. She sat. That's all that's going to happen. Don't freak out. Point. Grab your prepositions. Who or whom. Point. Grab your prepositions from the end. Who or whom. Jesus Christ. Right, Gloria. The cell they locked Gloria inside. The cell they locked Gloria inside. What is my preposition at the end of this sentence, Gloria?
Inside.
Gorgeous. So think point, preposition, which, whom, your choice, then the same grammar, the same they lock. That's going to be the same. So what is my Oscar Wilde, Noel Cowell version of the cell they locked Gloria inside? The stealing is going to be the cell.
Which?
Oh, go again. I didn't hear you. The cell.
Which?
Fuck me.
What?
Gloria.
I don't understand.
No. You say I can't understand, but Lukey's gone over this for 65 fucking minutes. Right, listen, look at Lukey. Look at Lukey.
Maybe I don't.
I don't want to hear. I do not want to hear. I do not hear. Listen on to Lukey. The cell they locked Gloria inside. Okay. So question one, which word there is the preposition? The cell they locked Gloria inside. You've correctly answered. Lovely.
Right.
So as this dumb bitch keeps trying to tell you all, point at your thing you're isolating. So it goes point, preposition, who or whom or which. Point, preposition, whom or which. So let's do step one. So the cell they locked Gloria inside. So point at me then. So the cell is what I'm pointing about. So we're still keeping the point. So what's the point then? So give me word one. What's the point?
Whom, Gloria.
No. Listen to Lukey. In English, right? Let's say we're talking about the cream. This is what we're pointing about. The cream. Luke can't live without. The French word would be the cream without which Luke can't live. So we still start by pointing at the same thing like we would in English. The man Spencer grew up with. The man with whom Spencer grew up. So we're still going to start by pointing at the same thing. So Gloria, if our original sentence is the cell, Gloria, sorry, they put Gloria inside or something like this. So what's my first thing that I'm pointing at? Because that's going to be the same. It's going to be the
cell.
Good. Now it goes point, preposition. What have you just told me the preposition was? The cell. What's the
Inside.
preposition there? Inside. The cell inside. And then what comes next? It's one of the W's. Whom or which?
What?
So
What? Oh,
which one?
oh,
The cell inside.
which?
Thank you. Point, preposition, whom or which. Point, preposition, whom or which. Read. The cell Luke begged to be locked inside. The cell Luke begged to be locked inside. What would that be in Oscar Wilde in English? The cell. Well, I keep saying that, but it can be common English. But it's just off you go. What's that going to be? Read.
The cell in which.
Listen to Auntie Lukey. The cell Lukey asked to be locked inside of. Really, to be fair, inside of. Yeah. So the cell Luke asked to be locked inside of. Okay. So what's my prepositional requirements that you're hearing at the end there? Reedy, I can't hear you. If you want to join the class, dude, you need to be both visible and audible. I can't hear you, my darling. Come close to the damn microphone. What is the preposition? No, get your ass close to the phone. I can't hear you. Are you on a laptop?
Yeah.
Can you use your phone? Can you call back on your phone? Right. While we're doing that, do another one each of you. Julian, the woman Luke can't live without. The woman Luke can't without. What's the word order going to be?
The woman without which Luke cannot live.
For a woman?
Yeah.
She might be a blow up doll for some people, Julian, but a woman is it not a person?
Oh, sorry.
Come on.
I don't treat women like objects, I promised.
That's fine.
The woman without whom Luke cannot live.
Lovely. Now, no one is saying you've got to go around speaking English like this. Christ or fucking mighty, you cunts wouldn't manage it. But the point is, that's how we're going to do French. That's French. That's French. That's relative pronouns for French. All right. Good. I need Reedy back. Otherwise, if I go on to the next bit, it will just fucking leap on. Right. I'm going to run and get my charger. If he's not back by the time I've got my charge, I'm going to carry on. Give me 1 second. Right. Is Reedy back? No.
Apologies, it should work.
That's good. Right, that's better. So Reed, if I said the door Luke walked through, what is the preposition in that sentence, Reed?
Through.
Thank you. So it's going to go same point, preposition, which whom. So what's that going to be in the posh English? The door Luke walked through is going to be the
door through which Luke walked.
Thank you. All right. So next stage then is going to be point. Same point. That's the relative pronoun thing. It's isolating. It's saying you can imagine a preposition of a relative pronoun question is like an answer to a question. Which man Spence? Which one are you on about? Luke, you know, the one I went to school with, or the guy who lives opposite whatever my mate, or the one I go to the gym with. You know, it's answering a question. It's saying this thing links to this thing. And sometimes the link is just a mere that. And sometimes the link is a mere, well, that person's doing the verb. But sometimes your link to that object or person requires a preposition. The man I wrote to, the man to whom I wrote, the man I received a letter from, the man from whom I received a letter. Do you see that the link from the person or the object to the, you have to be careful saying objects because an object can be a person in grammar, but what I'm saying, from the entity that you're linking to a verbal clause, can you see that that requires sometimes a preposition, people? Yes? Good. Next stage. Right, focus. If you are using about whom, no, forget about whom for a second, we'll come back to that. If you're using whom in the way that we've just been shown, then your word in French is going to be, brace yourself, this is fucking groundbreaking, qui. It's going to be the same word as who. With whom, it's like saying with whom. So let's go one by one. Julian, how would you say with whom?
Avec qui?
Aaron, how do you say for whom?
Pour qui?
Colin, how do you say from whom?
Oh.
From whom?
What's going on here? Connection lost.
I can hear you, I can hear you, I can hear you. From whom? Fuck my life. Spencer, how do you say from whom?
De qui?
Good. Abigail, how do you say without whom?
Sans qui?
Good. Gloria, how do you say near to whom? Double worded preposition, but we don't give a shit. Yeah.
Près de qui?
Thank you. Well done. Lovely. Prepositions are like fingers. Sometimes one will not do. Off you go. Read. On top of whom? What was the multi-worded preposition for on top of?
Is it sur?
That would be sur. That'd be on whom. What was the listen to the clue Lukey gave you. Linguists, listen. The multi-worded preposition for on top of. Sur ain't multi-worded, is it? So what's the multi-worded preposition? To be fair, you might have just missed that when you came in.
Yeah, I think I did.
Au-dessus de. Repeat it back to me.
Au-dessus de.
Good. Nice accent. Say me on top of whom.
Au-dessus de qui?
Nice. Lovely. Let's go around a couple more fancy prepositions. Julian, thanks to whom?
Merci.
Grâce à qui? Yeah. Grâce à qui? Lovely. Aaron, because of whom in a neutral or negative way?
À cause de qui?
Good job. Colin, no, that'll do. That'll do for the moment. Right, so key then is going to just be what we're going to use for the whom if we have a preposition. So let's do some sentences. So say for me, Julian, the man I live with, stage one, what's the preposition?
With, avec.
So how would you pop it into Oscar Wilde in English? The man I live with would be the man with.
The man with whom I live.
Lovely. Would you now translate that for me?
L'homme.
L'homme, not l'homme. Come on, yeah.
L'homme avec qui habite.
I live. We need a person, don't we? Come on, we're not doing Spanish. I think go l'homme avec qui.
L'homme avec qui j'habite.
Gorgeous. Or je vis would work as well. Gorgeous. Erin, the man I write to. Let's keep it the same man. The man I write to. What's that in posh English?
L'homme que...
When you listen, the man I write to. What is that in posh English?
The man to whom I write.
It isn't hard. Good. Focus. Now give me that in French.
L'homme ce que je...
Will you stand the fuck still? The whole point of what... you've had your moments. The whole point of what I've just been telling you for 10 goddamn minutes is that we are going to isolate what the preposition was at the end, and we're going to put it in second position. The man I write to. What is my preposition, Aaron?
To.
What is the French for fucking to?
De.
The French for to.
To.
Say to me, I'm going to Paris.
Je vais à Paris.
Would you now tell me, someone who's lived in French for several years, what the fucking preposition is for to?
À.
Good. You can double the amount you pay me for today's class for stupid. Lovely. So would you now say for me, to whom? What's to whom?
À qui?
Thank you. Sur my arse piece. Would you now say the man I'm speaking to is
L'homme
stupid? Off you go.
l'homme à qui je parle.
Gorgeous. Colin. The woman. Let's have some girl power. The woman I work for. This bitch works for no one, but the woman I work for. What is my preposition?
For.
Good. But I mean in English. For, so you said for, I thought you said pour. Fine, lovely. So now say for me then, the woman I work for.
La femme pour qui je travaille.
Good. Je travaille, but yes. So are we all clear that when we need to do it, we're going to use the same preposition, à, de, pour, ne. We're going to keep it. But we're going to put fucking qui or whatever on the end of it. Right. If it's a which, we have a different word. So now Gloria is of relevance, which is we need to listen to whether this is male. Shut up. Well, yes, actually, yes. We need to listen to whether this is male or female, or whether or not this is a human being or not. So how would you say, Abigail, which colour? In French.
Quelle couleur?
No, just a second. In two words, which colour? Go. Abigail, I don't want to always be losing time. Two words, go. Which colour? Go. Two
Couleur?
words, which colour? Go. And again?
Que couleur?
No, my darling. Which? What's the word for which? You used it correctly. Just used it a moment ago. Right, Abigail, how do you say how old someone is? Abigail, how do you say how old someone is?
Quel âge?
Great. What's my word for which?
Quel?
Good. Come on, wake up. How do you say which restaurant?
Quelle couleur?
Good. Which restaurant?
Quel resto?
Thank you. Spencer, which boy?
Quel garçon?
Great. So when we use which people, what is the word that we're going to use? Quel. But quel is the word for which. Listen, technique coming. When you are about to say your noun, either immediately after the quel or further down the line. For example, quelle couleur or quelle est ta couleur préférée? If your word which is referring to a noun that has already been stated or is not being stated in this sentence, you need to balance the quel. Quel gets nervous. It needs the noun after it. If it doesn't have the noun after it, you are going to put a the up its ass to the left. Le, la, les. Gloria, say for me, which boy in 2 words? Go. Which boy?
Quel garçon?
Because the noun is still present. If I said which one, which is referring to a boy, if you say to somebody which one, it has to be referring to something. The only time in life you can say which one and not have said the noun, or somebody else not have said the noun, would be if you had like so let's say I said, Gloria, I'm going to the court hearing to have your liberty taken away from you because you can't be trusted. You need locking up in a padded cell. And I'm going to wear a tie. And I said, which one? Which one? If I came at you and I went, here, if I didn't even say anything, I just went red and blue. I just held them up and went, Gloria, which one? Even then, even without me saying the word tie, you know what the which one is going to refer to. So which is always going to have a gender and a plurality. The joyous thing is that Kel always, oh shit, I haven't plugged the shitter in. Fuck, hang on. The joyous thing is that Kel is always the same spelling. Is always the same pronunciation. Quel. Please don't die. That'd be really annoying. If it does, I'll call you straight back. So, if it's quel, masculine QEL, feminine QELLE, plural QELS, plural feminine QELLES, it's the same damn spelling. Sorry, the same damn pronunciation. So if quel does not have a noun after it, it's going to have a the before it. So read, how would I say which house? House is feminine. How would I say which house?
Laquelle maison?
Stand still. Is there a noun present in which house?
Yes.
So do I need a the up its ass?
No.
No. So how do I say which house?
Quelle maison?
Referring to a house. Everybody present knows I'm referring to a house. I'm going to say which one? House is feminine. How do I say which one?
Laquelle?
It's that simple. Gloria, how do I say which day? Which day?
Quel jour?
How do I say which one? Referring to a masculine day.
Laquelle?
Somebody's typing. Can they please stop? Which one, Gloria? If I'm referring to a masculine
Laquelle?
day. And again,
Laquelle? Lequel?
Lequel. Listen to vowels, people. Abigail, I'm going to say one of you lot will be taken from your house by a team of expertly arranged assassins. One of you's got 6 minutes to live. You just don't know which one of you it is yet. So if I said which student, how do I say which student, Abigail, with the word student present? Which student?
Quel étudiant?
Thank you.
Quel
How would I
étudiant?
say, and how would I say which one? Which one? Referring to students.
Lequel? Lesquels?
Gorgeous. Lequel. Not which ones. I'm only going to kill one per week. Okay. Lovely. We need to have something to look forward to. Good. So listen to Auntie Lukey. Listen. When we've agreed that we're going to use the point, then the preposition, then the which, for people, you can say, like with whom, with which, you can say in French avec lequel, but it's much more formal. So it's better to say avec qui. You can say avec lequel, but it's better to say avec qui. But for things that are not human, you are always going to use le, la, les, quel. So with which, avec le, la, les, quel, depending. So Julian, referring to a feminine house, how would you say in which?
Dans lequel?
So you still have your preposition, people. You just have the which on the end. Aaron, how do you say for which, talking about a bank, a feminine bank, for which? I work for a bank. Which, for, the bank I work for, the bank for which I work, how would I say for which, Aaron?
Pour laquelle?
Glorious. Colin, how would I say to which if I was speaking about a masculine department? To which? How would you say to which?
À laquelle.
Dan Still, could you give me the masculine pronunciation, you lazy shits, all of you, the masculine pronunciation of the word which here that we need, not laquelle. Focus on your vowels.
Qui, la qui.
Dan Still, you're pissing me off. What is the word which? Does it have a gender? Kel, there's no spelling difference. What word, Cole, did Lukey say you're going to shove up its ass to the left if you're not saying the noun? What word did I say you shove up the ass of the word kel to the left? What goes to the left?
Lequel?
If it's masculine, just answer my question. Which word goes to, in English, which word goes to the left of kel if there's not a noun to the right of it? The word the. You bitches need to try listening, all right? So what is the masculine word for the?
Le.
Le, in your chest. That's better. What is the feminine word for the?
La.
What is the plural word for the?
Les.
So I need to hear lequel, laquelle, and lesquels sounding different. So if I'm talking about a masculine which with no noun present, what's the word going to be, Colin?
Lequel.
That was an absolutely gorgeous, sonorous sounding vowel. Do not be lazy, you lot. Now, there's two more elements. How do I, what happens, Colin, in French if I pop a and le together in French normally? What do they become?
Oh,
Good. Gloria, what happens in French if I put a and lay together normally in French?
Oh,
What does that become?
oh,
Oh, yeah, well done. A-U-X. Read, what happens in French if I put de and le together normally? What does that become?
Do.
Do, not do. Do means soft. Do. What
Do.
happens, Spence, if I put de and lay together?
Day.
Good. So if you needed to which, masculine, à lequel would become auquel. If you needed to which, plural, à and lesquels, auquel. À laquelle, fine, feminine, safe. De and lequel, duquel. De and lesquels, desquels. Okay, so if you're needing to say to or from, which, you're going to be using, you know, auquel, à laquelle, duquel, de laquelle, all of this business. All right. So let's keep going round. So Spencer, the company I work for, company is feminine. So could you just first say it for me in Oscar Wilde English? So the company I work for, what's that going to be in Oscar Wilde English?
The company for which I work.
Lovely. And I want you to use the word la société. Could you please say for me the company I work for? The company for which I work. Off you go.
La société pour laquelle je travaille.
La société pour laquelle je travaille. We're keeping my preposition. We're keeping my preposition. We're keeping my my which, laquelle. Lovely. Abigail. The woman I work for. The woman I work for. Could you say that for me in the nicer English? The woman.
The woman for whom I work.
Gorgeous. Remembering she's a human. Apart from Julian's one who's blown up in the back of a wardrobe. So the woman I work for. The woman I work for. The woman for whom I work. What's that going to be?
La femme pour laquelle je travaille.
No. She's human. I told you can use laquelle, but I told you, thanks, Julian. Make sure you watch the last 10 minutes. What did I tell you I wanted you to use for humans? La femme pour. What have we been using for humans? Pour
Qui.
Thank you.
Pour qui.
That's it. Okay, that's it.
La,
Go on then, say it to the woman I work for.
la femme pour qui je travaille.
All in one go.
La femme pour qui je travaille.
Gorgeous. Gloria. The cream I can't swim without. This shit's the dog's bollocks. It's really, really good. Let's stop doing it. I had to order it on eBay. I'm devastated. I'm devastated. You'll watch me wrinkle before your very eyes. So the cream I can't swim without. Before we go any further, Glow, what is the fucking preposition at the end of the cream I cannot swim without? What's the preposition in English?
Without.
Thank you.
Without.
So reminding ourselves that we're going to point, preposition, which or whom, whatever. So in elegant English and preserving the preposition, could you please say for me in elegant English, the cream I can't swim without?
The cream with which I cannot swim. Without which I cannot swim.
Thank you. We got there in the end. Let's go step by step. Onward, Christian soldiers. I can do this, Luke. I can do this. The cream. What's the word for the cream?
La crème.
Nice. Don't rush it. Sit in it. La crème. What's my preposition for without?
Sans.
What's my word for which going to be now, referring to a feminine cream? When you're not naming the noun of cream, you are referring to it. So it is going to need a the epithet. Spot on, well done. That is logic language learning. I haven't even finished the question. You've got the answer. Rather normal, random bullshit guessing. Well done. La crème sans laquelle. And then the verb shit is the same as normal. I cannot swim. What's I cannot swim, Gloria?
Avec
Sans laquelle, you've
Laquelle.
already done that. Sans laquelle, without which, yeah, will you listen to the question? Can you just say to me, I
Je peux
cannot
pas.
swim?
Je peux pas nager.
Good. La crème sans laquelle je peux pas nager. Good. Right. Reading. The department I wrote to. Now, let's be fucking frank. It's way easier to say the department I contacted. So read. How would you say in normal French, the department I contacted? And then we'll do the posher version. So the departments I contacted.
So in French.
Yeah.
Le département que j'ai.
Now, pause. What came after the department? What comes next? Stand still, people. Remember the very first thing we did today.
Oh,
When we started the department, we pointed.
Mm.
I contacted. Did
Qui?
we bring it? Stand still. Did we bring in a new person after the pointing at the department? Did we bring in somebody new? Yes or no?
No.
Stand the fuck still. The department. Who is in charge of the sentence at the moment?
Myself, I.
Stand still. The department. I've not uttered
Oh.
another word. Who is currently running the sentence? The department. If I start my sentence, the department, who's currently in charge of the sentence?
The department.
Thank you. Yeah, if I go, the department, I could choose to carry on and make the department do the fucking verb. The department is located at the back of the campus. Yeah, can somebody stop typing? The department I contacted, am I bringing in a different person to do the verb reading?
No.
The department, am I a department? Am I?
No,
physically-
okay. No.
Right. So the department I contacted. So am I bringing in a new person to do the verb?
Yes.
Why is this confusing?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Right. So therefore, lesson 1, if I'm bringing in someone to do the verb, I'm not just going straight into the verb. What word do I need to go there?
Que.
The very first thing we did there. Que. Thank you. Why are we not worried? Because we haven't got any prepositions. We only need to start. But let's just mentally mind map this, people. We had qui versus que. Yeah, that was our first section. Then we talked about what when it wasn't a question. Ce qui and ce que. That was our debate there. But what came next was still the same debate. And then we went into whether or not there's prepositions involved. So we basically mentally went, who's doing the next bit? Who's doing the next bit when it's a what as a non-question? Then we brought in prepositions and whether or not they were human or not. That was our mind mapping thing. So we had qui versus que, ce qui versus ce que, preposition plus qui or preposition plus le, la, lesquels. All right. So if I now said the department I wrote to, could you now give me that back in elegant English? The department I wrote to, what would that be in elegant English?
The department to which I wrote.
Lovely. Okay. I acknowledge that for some Americans, the verb to write is direct. I wrote him. Yes, but in English, British English, I wrote to. All right. So lovely. So in other words, so if it's the department to which, have we just agreed that department is masculine reading?
Yes.
Good. So what is my preposition going to be for the word to in French?
Lequel.
Stand still. Listen to the goddamn question. What is my preposition going to be for the word to in French?
Ah.
Thank you. What is my word for which going to be for the masculine department? What's that going to be?
Lequel.
And what happens when a and lequel meet? What does that become?
Oh, okay.
Spot the fuck on. So would you now say for me the department I wrote to?
Le département auquel
Oh, no, what? What word did you
auquel.
put? Thank you.
Le département auquel j'ai contacté.
I wrote.
Oh, auquel J'ai-
is not this word. Don't say auquel.
auquel j'ai écrit.
Thank you. All right. Lovely. Gloria, the department I had a response from. Dear Gloria, if you cross our path again, you'll be shot on sight. Yours, the president. Off you go. So off you go. In English, Gloria, the department I had a response from. What is the preposition at the end of this sentence, Gloria?
From.
In English, from. What is the word for from in English? In French, Gloria?
Yeah.
Good. Could you pop for me into elegant English the department I received a response? Let's go with I had. The department I had a response from, remembering our word order of pointed thing, preposition stolen from the end of the sentence, then which or who. So could you give me your Oscar Wilde in English for the department I had a response from? In English, could you give me the posh version of that?
The department from which I had a response.
Gorgeous work. Gorgeous. So go slowly. I'm going to ask you the word and you're going to give me word by word. The department. What is it in French? What is it in French?
Département.
Have we just been talking about departments with Reedy? What do linguists do? Listen.
I forgot.
They fucking. There's no such fucking thing as forgetting. There's just not fucking listening. What did Reedy say the word for department was? Reed, let's go back in time. I'll be Marty McFly. You can be the doc. Up you go. So would you please say for me the word department, Reed, one more time?
Le département.
Thank you. Département. All right.
That's
So would you now?
what I said?
You spat and uttered some weird shit that I couldn't hear. So could you basically now say for me the word department?
Département.
Thank you. So could you now say for me the department one more time?
Le département.
From which? Now pause before you go any further, Gloria. What's my preposition for which? Pardon me, I apologize. What's my preposition for from you've just told me?
From.
In French, my darling.
Okay.
Stand still. What is my preposition for from in French? Stand the fuck still and fucking listen. What is my preposition for the word from in French? One fucking word. Thank you. You cunts do not listen. My God. Now, Gloria, what is the word which Lukey Lou requires for a masculine which when there ain't no noun next? A masculine one. What do I need? If it's which, there's no noun next. So it's going to need a the up its ass, but it's the masculine singular one. What's that word?
Lequel.
Lequel. I need to hear more chest, Gloria, but yes, I need to hear more chest, all right? Lequel. Good. What happens when I have de and lequel together, do you think, Gloria?
Du.
Gorgeous. Nice, clear vowel twang. Well done. Le département duquel. Now, what is I have had? A response. What's I had? J'ai. You've not done it in these classes with me, so if you don't know it, there's no bad. But what is I have had? J'ai
eu.
J'ai eu. Well done. Try and slide it in the throat. Off you go. J'ai eu.
J'ai eu.
Lovely. And now would you say for me a response which is feminine?
Une réponse.
Lovely. Nice twangs. Don't race. Slide through those twangs. That sounds really nice. Because my life is horrible and I'm cursed to be sad, you've just interested me and my brain's gone, ooh, when she does a nice twang, that bitch can speak nicely. I'm going to stick with her to try and keep her speaking French. Quite why I'm such a sucker for punishments is beyond me. But that sounded really, really nice. So, le département duquel j'ai reçu une réponse. Good. Now, next and final ingredient, and then we're just going to fucking run around randomly all of the shit that we've done. Final section. Spencer, what is the preposition for from?
De.
What is the preposition for about?
Dans.
No.
De.
What is the preposition for about?
De.
Dans is not a preposition. D-A-N-S, dans, is a preposition, but not dans that you're thinking of. What is the preposition for from?
De.
What is the preposition for of?
De.
So, in other words, de, D-E, gives us about. So I'm speaking about Colin. Je parle de Colin. I have need of Colin. J'ai besoin de Colin. I received a cake from Colin. J'ai reçu un gâteau de Colin. From, about, and of are all de in French. If you need to do the relative pronoun, all right, so you have a go. Just watch the last 5 minutes, my darling. Just the last 5 minutes on dans. All right, just the last 5 minutes on dans. Okay, if you need to do the relative pronoun with the de, but you mean to say from whom, from which, life is kosher. De qui, duquel, de laquelle, desquels. That's fine. If you need to mean of which, of whom, about which, about whom, so anything other than the fromming, you don't even bother with the shit that we've just learned. You just, as Spencer's hinted at, say the word dans. D-O-N-T. So a relative pronoun is often seen as a reversal of your original sentence. So your basic sentence is, here's the dude or the chick doing the verb to the thing. The man buys the cake. Subject, verb, object. A relative pronoun is often the other way around. The cake, the man buys. Yeah? So that's one way of looking at dans as a reversal of de. So je parle de la fille dont je parle. Dont je parle. If it's I receive a letter from the girl, je reçois une lettre de la fille. The girl I received a letter from, la fille de qui je reçois une lettre. I'm still going to use the de for from. So do one for me, Spencer. Say for me, and for this purpose, I want you to use j'ai besoin, although normally I want you guys to be much more comfortable with he needs or I need, il me faut, il te faut, il lui faut, and I need to do something. Spencer needs to understand whatever, il doit plus verb. So I'd much rather use the F and the D normally, but for this grammar, let's be using the besoin. So Spencer, could you please say for me, I need the cream.
J'ai besoin de la crème.
Lovely. Would you now say for me the cream of which I need? It's not a from, so we're quite safe. What's the cream I need?
La crème dont j'ai besoin.
J'ai besoin. Yeah.
J'ai besoin.
Besoin is not a verb. Yeah. Besoin is not a verb. It is a noun. You have need. All right. Good. Lovely. Colin, would you say for me, Luke talks about the group. Group is masculine. Group is masculine. It could be a group of pink Barbie dolls. Group is masculine, which is somewhat misleading. Yeah, off you go.
Luc parle.
Why are we going one word at a time? Slow down and slide.
Luc parle de le groupe.
What has Lukey taught you today about saying de and le?
Du.
Off you go.
Luc parle du groupe.
Lovely. I particularly enjoyed the expert going from du to groupe. Du groupe. I liked that. Quick interjection. What is the time in French? Anybody? Somebody tell me, I don't care who. What is the time in French when we don't convert de and le into du? We don't convert de and le into day. We don't convert a and le into o. And we don't convert a and le into o. There's one rule which holds totally true. When is it we don't do that? Anybody? When are you going to hear de le, de le, and ale?
Word with a vowel or an H?
Say that again, Spence.
In front of a word starting with a vowel, or
No, I take your point. That's not actually a stupid thing to say. That's not a stupid thing to say. So, for example, if it was like de le marché, du marché, if it was from like from the arrival, you know, de l'arrivée, you're not gonna. Well, that's feminine anyway, but de l'ouverture. Yeah, if the word has got a vowel, but you wouldn't think of it as a le there anyway, because it'd be L apostrophe anyway. So you're not really using a le, losing a le. Any other ideas?
Is it is it when the le needs to refer to like it?
That is exactly right. In one, it is when the le or the lay, plural, are a pronoun and not the article the. So, for example, if I said, Spencer, what's the verb to start?
commencer.
Commencer, put your twang in. Say for me, I'm starting to understand. I'm starting to understand.
Je commence à
Good. So,
apprendre.
remember to get the preposition up into the air, be northern. Je commence à comprendre. So, are we acknowledging that the commencer has an a after it? Yes. If I said I'm starting to understand it, and we don't know the gender of the word it because we're just assuming it's a verbal activity, I'm going to say je commence à le comprendre. I've got a big, fat, obvious a and le, but I don't join them because the le represents something. Yeah, if it's I'm walking to the market. So Gloria, using the verb marcher. No, that'd be stupid for me to say je marche or marcher. But Gloria, could you say to me, I'm going to the cinema, and cinema is masculine. So how would you normally, Gloria, say I'm going to the cinema?
Je vais au cinéma.
Je vais au cinéma. Well done. You have nice passage through vowels, Gloria. So the fact is that and that and all of that crap, your mouth will say sometimes. Good. Final quick fire round of everything we've done today. Spencer, the guy that lives with me. The guy that lives with me.
L'homme avec qui j'habite.
No. I'm loving your muscle memory. I'm loving your muscle memory. The guy that lives with me. Quick question, Spence. Is there a preposition at the end of the guy that lives with me?
No.
So are we in the first half of the lesson or the second half of the lesson? Lovely. Are we talking about the word what as a non-question? No. So we're in the very first. We're in the first half of the first half. So how do you say the guy that lives with me?
L'homme qui habite avec moi.
Stand still. The guy. Who's in the point, Spence, when I say the guy? Before we go any further, who's in the points? Who are we examining?
L'homme.
Right. Is he doing the verb?
Yes.
Correct. So am I bringing someone else in to do the verb?
No.
So do I need qui or que?
Qui.
Thank you. The guy. That's it. Okay, that's it. Yeah.
L'homme qui habite avec moi.
Good. Now say it for me in French, not like Spence.
L'homme qui habite avec moi.
Gorgeous. All right. Okay. Now say for me, the man I don't be crude, Luke. The man I touched. The man I touched. The man I touched. The man I touched. Toucher, being to touched. Being to touch, not being to touched. Up here.
L'homme que j'ai touché.
Lovely, because the man is the person that the sentence is about, even for just a second. A fleeting moment of glory, a fleeting moment of 2 seconds glory, much like, you know, whatever. So the fact is, I'm then bringing in the man I touched. I'm bringing in a subject to do my verb, so I need que. All right, lovely. Gloria, I like what Reed is wearing. Nice colour blue on the lad. I like what Reed is wearing. Slowly, have a go. I like what Reed is wearing.
J'aime.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. J'aime lequel.
And still. Listen to
No,
Auntie Lucy.
j'aime lequel.
When you are told stop, you say stop. Because if you come to Buzzardson and this shit goes on, I'll push you in the fucking river. Hopefully you can't swim. In today's lesson, in today's thrilling installment, we had 4 chunks. We had qui versus co, ce qui versus ce que, all the shit with the prepositions, and then we did that little cheeky don at the end where we like, look, it's still prepositions. So in other words, I like what Reed is wearing. Are there any prepositions at the end of this clause? Is it like I like what Reed is wearing with? I like what Reed is wearing under?
No.
No.
No problem.
Next up, listen to Auntie Lukey. She made it very fucking clear. I said, if we're using the word what as a non-question, we are dealing with the CE word. Did I not say that if we are using the word what as a non-question, it's going to contain the CE word? Did Lukey not say that, Glow? Did I not say that?
You did.
I did. So quite why you're lakelling and lakelling absolutely makes my balls fucking ache. So basically, so let's go really slowly.
Can I tell you one thing? Can I say one thing?
No,
It's really
I'm
difficult.
sorry.
I'm very
I do
hard.
apologise,
I
Gloria.
appreciate this lesson. Trying.
But that's a fascinating, thrilling story. HBO will buy it and convert it into a drama series. So go with me slowly. So say for me, just say for me slowly, I like.
J'aime.
Lovely. Now, my choices today, and they're not the only choices, for the word what, when it's not a question, were which? Ce plus something else. What were my 2 choices today, Gloria?
Ce que.
Was one of them, and what was the other choice? Ce que and ce.
The key.
Gorgeous, my darling. And the same as in the first bit, what differentiated between those 2 was whether or not after that word we were going to go straight into a verb, or whether we were going to go into a dude doing the verb. So I like what Reed is wearing. Am I bringing someone in to do the verb, Gloria? So is it going to be ce qui or ce que?
Ce que.
Gorgeous. What's the verb to wear beginning with a P?
With which letter? P? Port?
A P. Which, nice. And what's the short form Reed is wearing? How am I going to say that? Reed is wearing. How am I going to say that?
Ce que Reed porte.
Gorgeous. Could you now say for me, I like what Reed is wearing?
J'aime ce que Reed porte.
Good. Reed, did you buy said hoodie or was it a gift? Very nice.
A gift.
I suspected as which. You might think I'm an evil cunt, but I'm actually blessed with deeply psychic powers. I know exactly how uncomfortable everybody feels at the point at which they feel uncomfortable. I don't give a shit. Get over it. So, say for me, the person that gave it me is very nice. The person that gave it me is very nice. Let's go through this very, very gently. How would you say the person?
I'm actually blanking because of Spanish. It's not person, is it?
It's very similar. Yeah, go on. Yeah, la personne. Yeah.
La
and
personne.
The same as in Spanish, it's feminine.
Okay,
Even if it's a big, shaved-headed rugby. I just enjoyed that image just for a moment. Actually, that's bullshit. The guy I love is 5'10". So say for me, but I do quite like a shaved head. So say for me, the person. Say for me, the person.
La personne.
Good. Now we don't need to read Dictionary Corner. We can just say la personne. We don't say la personne. Yeah.
La personne.
Okay. So say la personne. Okay. Okay. Lovely. Your French should be lazier in your mouth than your Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, voy a hablar con alguien. Alors, je vais parler con. You know, it's like it doesn't need to be like bigger. You know, it's like let's keep it like lazy. Okay. Lovely. So la personne. Okay. The person. Now, say for me, Luke gave. So the verb to give is donner. So how do you say Luke gave? As
Luc
an action.
a donné.
Luke a donné, because it's an action. Now, who's in the pointer if I say the person who gave? Who are we starting the sentence with? Who's in the pointer?
The person.
So if I say the person who gave,
Mm.
am I bringing in a new person to do the verb?
No.
So going up to the section of class, what word needs to come next if I'm doing that then? What word needs to come next?
Qui.
Thank you. Can we try and say it in French? Because if it sounds like something you would put into a door and turn, you've gone wrong. Get your twang up there. Off you go.
Qui.
Better. La personne qui. Now, say for me the person who gave, remembering that you've got an auxiliary.
La personne qui a donné.
Lovely. I'm loving that you went with qui a donné while you were thinking about it. That makes me very happy. Can you make sure your past participle is donné, not donné? Okay. Okay, la personne qui a donné. Now I need some pronouns. The person who gave it me. What's the pronoun for me in all situations? Reflexive, direct, indirect. Lovely. Me. What's the pronoun for it if we refer to, let's just say, well, you could go with either, you go with a feminine hoodie or a masculine top, whatever. Let's go with masculine. Token, top. So what's the word, what's the masculine pronoun? Lovely. Me le. So and which one is going to go first out of me and le and why?
Me goes first.
Why? Good.
Because a bit's before. First.
No, that's the wrong analogy. That's where it goes in the sentence in relation to.
All right.
I'm on about if you've got multiple pronouns together. How do you know?
Oh, the long. It's the longer one. No?
That's it. It was when basically, people around the world celebrated in sexual frustration because Luke went la 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 la. The long one goes at the end of the lot. Exactly. So in other words, could you now could you do your bits before verbs and could you say the person who gave it me?
La personne qui a me le donné.
Bits. Excuse me. You've just told me bits before verbs. You've just told me that pronouns are going to go before verbs. Is a verb, my love, just because it's an auxiliary.
Oh, okay.
Do you now get the point of bits before verbs?
Yeah.
Bits
La
before
personne qui me l'a donné.
Thank you. Now say it for me and mean it. La personne qui me l'a donné.
La personne qui me l'a donné.
That's not what I said. La personne qui me l'a donné.
La personne qui me l'a.
Smaller.
La personne.
No, don't do this. When people get it, they're trying to make the mouth bigger. Make your mouth smaller. Push more on the chest. La personne qui me l'a donné.
La personne qui me l'a donné.
I'm going to tickle your feet. Do this. Do the mouth. Imagine you're going to tickle somebody. Just go like that. That's it. That's as big as your mouth needs to get. Oui, alors la personne qui me l'a donné. Keep your molars virtually together, but not totally touching. Oui, alors la personne qui me l'a donné.
La personne qui me l'a donné.
That's still la personne. So you're forming it with this. La personne qui me l'a donné. No. This is dead. Oh, la personne qui me l'a donné. Let's hear. If you were speaking French with the way you're going to speak, if you're going to speak English the way you're speaking French, you sound like Ozzy Osbourne. Sharon, you don't open your mouth. Oui, alors la personne qui me l'a donné. You don't need as much lip movement.
La personne qui me l'a donné.
Lovely. More chest here, but we're getting there. Good. Spence. No, Colin. Colin, are you back? Fully? Yes. He's back. Colin, you do one. The women that I saw at the restaurant. The women that I saw at the restaurant.
Les femmes qui j'ai
Now, you gave me a hybrid of two things that should never have been allowed to come together. Don't make me refer to Prince Harry and his lovely, lovely bride. So say for me, are we saying qui or que there?
que.
Good. Why?
Que. Because we're introducing I saw at the restaurant.
That's right. Because we're introducing somebody to do a verb. Lovely. So the women that I saw at a restaurant. At the restaurant, sorry.
Les femmes que j'ai vues.
At the restaurant.
Dans le restaurant.
At the restaurant.
Au restaurant.
Good. Put them together.
Les femmes que j'ai vues au restaurant.
Go again.
Les femmes que j'ai vues au restaurant.
Lovely. Slide for me, Cole. Les femmes que j'ai vues au restaurant. Ooh. Scooby, don't use mouth. Use Scooby, don't use mouth.
Les femmes que j'ai vues au restaurant.
Lovely. Say for me, like literally normal English as Colin, the women that I saw in the restaurant. The women that I saw in the restaurant. Just as you.
The women that I saw in the restaurant.
There you go. Now match your speed in French. Les femmes que j'ai vues au restaurant.
Les femmes que j'ai vues au restaurant.
There we go. If it feels busier in French, keep working out why it does. It shouldn't. Good. Lovely. How do you spell vous, by the way, Colin?
V-U-E-S.
Good man. Because bonus round people, if you get to the past participle and you've already mentioned what it's referring to, if it's direct, you have to agree ENS. If it's feminine, plural, lovely, lovely. If your past participle ends in a consonant, then you are going to agree this. So, for example, the page that I wrote, la page que j'ai écrite. Don't worry about this too much. Yeah, this used to be called preceding direct object. Now it's called complement objet direct. Lovely, good, lovely, Gloria. The girl she knows now works in the street. She fell on hard times. The girl she knows now works in the street.
La fille qu'elle connaît.
Good. Keep the words going while you're thinking that. Connaît, yeah.
Connaît. Maintenant. Travail.
Keep the words going while you're thinking. Travail in the street.
Travail dans la rue.
Lovely. The girl is the subject in the pointer. She knows. It also feminine, but don't be confused. It's somebody else, so we're going to use que. Let's be honest. Que is que. Listen to Auntie Luki. I'm about to give you a bonus round. You do not need to know this for next week. You would literally cry, all of you. But this is where we are headed. Spence, you might want to listen to this. This is where we are headed. To check that a verb is comfortable in your little mouths, you need to know subject, object, pronoun, object, subject, what is a question, what is a non-question. So in other words, I buy the bread, I buy it, the bread I buy, what am I buying? Luke knows what I buy. And we need to know this with 3 times 5 situations. Verbs which don't have a preposition, verbs which have an a, and verbs which have a de. To be fair, we need to know with other prepositions, but it follows the same pattern. So you have, you can do this, Luki. I buy the bread, j'achète le pain. I buy it, je l'achète. The bread I buy, le pain que j'achète. What am I buying? Qu'est-ce que j'achète? You have got j'achète quoi and cachette and all this shit, but don't worry about that. Luke knows what I'm buying. Luke says ce que j'achète. So in your normal, most common type of verb, que and ce que are big players. Then we move on to de. Spencer talks about, you know, the system. Spencer parle du système. Spencer speaks about it. Spencer en parle. The system Spencer speaks about. Le système dont Spencer parle. Spencer's talking about what? Spencer parle de quoi? I know what Spencer's talking about. Je sais ce dont Spencer parle. So we're not going to be using any of the que there or the ce que. It'll be the new stuff, which we will do when we get to it, which is only a couple of weeks away. Then we get to the our ones. Spencer's thinking about the situation. Spencer pense à la situation. The situation Spencer's thinking about. La situation à laquelle. To which we did it earlier today. À laquelle. Spencer's thinking about it. Spencer y parle. Y pense. What's Spencer thinking about? Spencer pense à quoi? I know what Spencer's thinking about. Just he's a man. It's pretty easy. Je sais ce à quoi Spencer pense. So it's like these 3 are so important. But your first one, which is your main basic bitch verb, your main basic bitch verb, your main basic bitch verb. Okay, that is going to just be que if the thing comes before the verb. I see the table. Je vois la table. The table I see. I'm introducing something to do it. La table que je vois. That is what you've got to get into your systems, people, because English doesn't do that. The table the cream I use is from whatever. La crème que j'utilise. All right. Good. Couple more. One more each, then we'll chill. Did you have a question, Gloria?
Oui. J'en ai besoin par écrit. C'est tout.
No, you
c'est
don't.
faux.
No, you don't.
Oui.
Is somebody going to come up to you in France with flashcards? You don't. You don't. Sit on vowels, become comfortable with vowel sounds, learn sounds. Nobody likes marking an essay more than I do. You do not need to write this stuff down, because all that happens when you speak is you'll then be visualizing this stuff. Stay on top of sounds. You more than anybody. Trust Lukey. There's a reason you've not gotten to where you could get in French, Gloria. It's doing it written down. Trust me, come with me my way. All right. So, Gloria, do me the question. No, you just did the last one with the one that I know. Colin, what is happening in Israel is terrible, and in Palestine, the whole fucking thing is atrocious. What is happening in Israel? I don't care who owns what land. I don't care. I'm not entitled to a political opinion. It's not my land. Don't need to fucking nuke everybody, do we? Off you go. So say for me, yeah. So yes, off you go. So what is happening in Israel is terrible, Colin.
Ce que
Stand
passe.
still, stand still. What is not a question here? So what are my two choices? It's not a question.
Oh.
What's my two choices for the word what, Colin?
Lequel and lequel.
But Auntie Cole, listen to Lukey. What are the two choices for the word what? The two choices for the word what that we've had today when it's not a question.
Que and qui.
Stand still. What single word did I tell you what begins with when it's not a question what? So, yes?
So, yeah. Oui.
Yeah. When
So.
What is not a question, what word does it? There's different combos, there's different ones, but what word is going to be involved in it if what is not a question? What did I just tell you? Thank you. Thank you. Now, which two choices did we talk about today?
Ce qui
and so.
que.
Lovely. And what did we need to use que? What needed to be bringing? What needed to be brought in? Apologise. Couldn't handle a passive. What needed to be brought in? English is hard. What needed to be brought in to allow me to use the sukkah? What needed to be brought in if I was going to use sukkah? I needed to bring what in?
Something new.
Be careful. Something, a subject, something new,
Subject.
doing the verb. Yeah. All right. So if I'm saying what is happening, is it what Spencer is happening? What Spencer's white socks are happening? What Spencer's black hair is happening? You know, am I bringing in like a subject to do that happening? Yes or no, Colin?
No, it's
So
the same.
does one use saki or does one use saki or sukkah?
Ce qui.
Lovely. What's the infinitive of the verb to happen?
Ce qui passe.
Stand still. Listen to my mouth. It is speaking in English. What is the infinitive of the verb to happen? The infinitive of the verb to happen. The to form.
In French or in English?
In French.
To pass.
No, the infinitive is the to form.
Tu es passé?
Stand still. What's the infinitive of a verb? What does that mean?
Passé.
Thank you. Now, is it
ER.
Say that again, you'll be found in fucking A&E. I'm telling you. You really, really will. You do not say that to me. You do not say that to me. You do not visualize, and you certainly don't call it an ER verb. It's an A verb. What is the infinitive of the verb to happen? It's not passé. It needs something before it. It's reflexive. What's the infinitive of the verb to happen, Colin?
Se passer.
Gorgeous. Nice transition from to a. We don't say ER. That means we're visualizing. We don't visualize. I like marking essays as much as the next fucker. I teach degree students. I'm halfway through preparing a literature podcast. Yeah? It's not how you speak or learn a language. It's not. Okay? So, se passer. So say for me, what is happening in Israel? And Israel is en Israel. Okay? So say for me, what's happening in Israel?
Ce que s'est passé.
Stand still, stand still. What is happening? Is there a subject being brought in, Colin?
No.
No. So is it going to be ce qui or ce que?
Ce qui.
Thank you. Now, what's the he, she, it form of the verb se passer?
C'est passé.
Stand still in the present tense. In the present
Se
tense. What is
passe.
happening? Se passe, pronunciation.
Se passe.
Bullshit in the present tense. What's the pronunciation of the he, she, it reflexive?
C'est
Stand
pas.
still. This is where your fucking reading's gotten you. Look at me. Say for me, he washes in 2 words. As in he washes the car, but just give me in 2 words, he washes. Il
se lave.
learn to listen. In 2 words, your listening is appalling. In 2 words, give me he washes. As I said, imagine the car. In 2 words, go. Il
lave.
Thank you. Nice transition. Now say for me, he, I don't know where the balloons came from. Now say for me, he washes it. No, he washes himself. Give me the reflexive. He washes himself.
Il se lave.
Great. So what is sound boy? Sound boy. What is my vowel sound for the reflexive in the third person?
Se.
Good. 1 second. My daughter's just saying hi. Good. 1 second.
I'm gonna remember this next week.
1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Good. I am watching how the Canadians sang "God Save the King" at Harry and Meghan. Oh my God, I love her. I love her. The apple does not drop far from the tree. Fall far from the tree. Right. So back to Colin. Back to Colin. Don't YouTube come after me. It's got nothing to do with colour or anything ridiculous like that. Ridiculous like that. Not at all. Couldn't have been happier about that. Really, really happy on that front. Just an absolute little snetter. Right. So say for me, and he's done. So basically, so Colin, what's the present tense of se passer then?
Il se passe.
Yeah, but on this occasion, what is happening? So I don't. So say for me, I don't like. Je n'aime pas ce qui se passe. Put it together for me.
Ce qui se passe.
Good. Now say that for me. Ce qui se passe.
Ce qui se passe.
Good. Notice, people, that could start a sentence. So Colin, no, Spencer, say for me, what happened past tense yesterday was interesting. What happened yesterday was interesting.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
Is it a question? What happened yesterday? Not on this occasion, because I'm saying what happened yesterday was interesting.
Ce qu'il s'est passé.
Is it ce qu'il or ce qui?
I always thought it was ce qu'il. No?
There's a difference between ce qui. Right. Qu'est-ce qu'il s'est passé? Que s'est-il passé? All of this business. One can do both with that.
Mm.
But on this occasion, what happened? Ce
qui s'est passé.
Lovely. All right. If you scroll back through my videos, shit, how can I get you to type all of that in? If you type in qu'est-ce qui, did I tag it as qu'est-ce qui se passe? I think you did. So one can say in French, qu'est-ce qui se passe, qu'est-ce qu'il se passe. You can do both of that, but that's for the interrogative. So your interrogative, your question, has options. Your non-question has no options. All right. So go again and say to me, what happened past tense yesterday was interesting.
Ce qui s'est passé hier était intéressant.
Good. Could you now soften it up? Ce qui s'est passé hier était intéressant.
Ce qui s'est passé hier. Ce qui s'est passé hier était intéressant.
Less mouth, more chest. It needs to be diaphragmatically pressed. Oui, alors ce qui s'est passé hier était intéressant.
Ce qui s'est passé hier était intéressant.
More chest push.
Ce qui s'est passé hier.
No, you can do more mouth. Don't speak, just go. Now add sound. Ce qui s'est passé hier était intéressant.
Ce qui s'est passé hier était intéressant.
That's lovely. Good. Great. Right then. So in overview, people, if you've attended the lesson, you can pay me. Okay.
In advance.
You need to hang on. Who sent me some shit? 1 second. Good. So in overview, pay me. Second point, key versus ke. A to B equals key if a new person is coming in ke. Yeah. Also, without being mean, right now we've got 3 or 4 new things per class and we play with them. When we start the conversation weeks, it'll be constant new stuff and vocab. I need you to listen, people. I need you to repeat with soft mouths and I need you to listen. How many times today have I said do something and people have like done something completely different? Focus, focus, focus. Be it in English and French, listening. Next thing, key versus ke. It was all about who comes next. Is it going straight into the verb? Is it going to have a new person brought in? Then we literally applied the same rules, but it was whether or not we had the word se, ki, or sukke. But we were working as a minimum with the se sound, weren't we? Same rules as to what comes afterwards, but it's still got this debate about se, ki, sukke. But we need the se because it's what when it's not a question. All right. Then we went into the dizzying heights of preposition land. Then we all learned what a fucking preposition was. Then we all learned to listen to Lukey when she said, the man with whom I live. And you're going to keep your same prepositions. So you're going to still hear the preposition. You're just going to go in with it in place 2. The man with whom. The man for whom. The company from which I hired the machinery to destroy Gloria. It's like all of that is fine. We've just got whom or which to listen to. Qui or lequel, laquelle, lesquels. And then finally, in final place, we said, all right, then fine. If you're going to be using de, but you're not going to be meaning from, you're going to be using don, D-O-N-T. And that's what we did, didn't we? Yeah, that is what we did. That is what we talked about. All right, good. Any questions? But I'm about to give you all, and this will go under the video, what was the relative pronoun challenge. So when I first taught this shit online, okay, I gave everybody a homework challenge. And I forwarded it them. Where's it gone? Hang on. Relative pronoun. Here we go. I'm forwarding it you. First video is hang on. 1 second. Let me make sure everybody's got it, and then I can relax and go and eat pizza. Logic language learning. Send Brenda. This is it. Relative pronouns forward. Now, some of this video you don't really need. You just need select all, copy, cut. You don't need all of this video. You need Gloria. Thank you for helping read. Oh, hang on 1 second. Oh, it's been a dear. Hang on 1 sec. Copy. 1 second. 1 second. Yeah. So can you, so in other words, I will do a relative pronoun quiz, like a revision test, like I do normally on the Monday. I will absolutely do that. But if you really want to get decent on this, watch the challenge, which is I think the third of the 3 videos or something. Yeah. So you don't need to watch the first bit. That's just teaching exactly the same thing again. It will be no less direct than this. Okay. But the challenge is what you guys need to be comfortable with. Yeah, you need to be able to answer those things.
Where do you find the challenge?
It's just been stuck in the WhatsApp.
It's called challenge. Okay.
No. It's 3 WhatsApp videos, 5 WhatsApp videos. But you look, when you click on it, those videos, you'll see it's in the thing. Have a little look. See, yeah. Good. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, good. Excellent. I will go. Pay me if you've not paid me. I will speak to you soon. Well
Excellent.
done. All right. Qui que, ce qui, ce que, preposition plus qui, preposition plus le, la, lequel, dans. All right.